So we can reach many different kind of contents by internet. This is good. This has good sides or bad sides, because we cannot be sure about the quality of the content. This is the bad side of internet. But on the other hand, if we make effective search, and if we know good instruments and tools about internet, then it is a very useful instrument that we can develop ourselves by using this instrument. So I will try to explain you two search engines that we are familiar with. Actually, the first one is PubMed and the other is Google. These are more or less the search engines we are familiar with. But after me, two of my colleagues will tell you about Embase, which is less frequently used according to PubMed and Google, and my other colleague will tell you the Cochrane review library, which is also not very common like PubMed. And as a whole, these will be really very good instruments. If we want to make a search, we have to, I think we have to look all these search engines because they are not covering the literature. One of them does not cover whole literature, so excluding the overlapping parts, these engines will be useful when they are used together. Okay, internet is an online source, but it is, due to its huge content, it is sometimes really very difficult to use it. For example, when you search for orthopedics keyword in Google, you reach this much web pages. So it's huge. You cannot know how can you use it, how can you filter it for your purposes. These are some of the libraries and some of the internet sites on web pages that you can use. Some of the selected online textbooks are here. Some of them we are very familiar with. Willis and the Strikers and some other firms, the industries, web pages have really good libraries and multimedia databases. We can use all these databases. Also, there are some other sites which contain images. The radiologic images or the clinical photos that we can use from these websites. Some of them we are very familiar with. Internet is not only disorganized, but it resists to be organized because of its nature. So identification of an information or reaching to an information that you are specifically looking for is really difficult and time-consuming. And in order to exceed this problem, really we have to learn about it. It's something learnable. Like surgical skills, the internet using skills are learnable things. We have to learn and be trained about how to use the internet. I will talk to you about two instruments, two search engines. To make effective search, we can use some spatial signs, like here. The selected keywords are very important. We have to select the keywords in an appropriate way. I will mention all these things separately in the following slides. Also, we can use some punctuations. These are really makes easier our job. Also, some other marks. Also, there is a Boolean logic in the Boolean operators in the search engines These operators also filters our search results. Site limiting is another option, I will mention about it, and file type limiting. Also, there are some advanced search options in search engines, even in Embase, Koran, PubMed, and in Google. So, database is an ocean, and the result that we want to reach is a very focused and narrow area. If we select the right keywords and use operators, wildcards, and other limits, that we can, by this way, we can reach to the results easier than making an unorganized search. About the keywords, we have to use specific and medical terms, first of all. For example, if you write hip replacement to the Google, it reaches 2,230,000 web pages. But if we write hip arthroplasty, then it's very limited, according 5 times or more limited, according to the hip replacement keyword. So keyword selection is important. We have to use terms, medical terms, in order to get a narrow result. Also, the star wildcard is important in order to find or elect the false negative results. For example, if we use fracture, then we reach the web pages which include fracture. But the other words like fractures, fractured, maybe some of them are maybe disregarded if we write just fracture. Some of them are included, but some of them are disregarded. So in this instance, we should use a star wildcard. This works in either in Google and PubMed. For example, here we write, if we write fracture, it is, there is no monitor so I cannot see, but it's around 168,000. But if we write, if we put a star wildcard, then we reach a more wider results. So by this way, we will see in our results lists some false negatives are included here according to the previous one. Also, if we put a wildcard between 2 words, like here, humerus, wildcard, and fracture. So in this case, humerus shaft fracture, humerus head fracture, or humerus diaphyseal fractures are also included in our search. Like here, if we write, it works in Google also. Humerus, wildcard, fracture, you see the results. Humerus shaft fracture, diaphyseal fracture, shaft fracture, and these kind of results are available in this situation. Minus is an important mark also. If we put minus just previous to the word, to the keyword, then that keyword is excluded. But there must not be a blank before this term. I mean, the minus sign and the keyword must be together. There should not be a space between each other. Okay. For example, distal humerus is shown here, and distal minus humerus excludes the distal humerus. It contains all humerus except distal word. So distal humerus fractures are not included in this search. Like minus term, there is a title mark which serves the synonym, which search with synonym keywords like vertebra and spinal column. If you put a title mark here, just in front of, just before the vertebra, then it automatically searches for spinal column also. Like here, for example, you see the spinal column, spinal injury, and the other words. So we can use, if we're not sure about and if we want to include the synonym terms, we should use this mark with this keyword. Another instrument that we can use on web in most search engines, the define tool. These are the features of most of the search engines, the tools that I mentioned to you, because the search engine logic is same in every software. More or less, it's very resembling to each other. So if we write define before the keyword, then we reach to the results that that contains the definition of that keyword. For example, define osteonecrosis. Then we reach the definitions of osteonecrosis. At least it includes a definition somewhere in the text. So this is a very useful instrument also. Another thing that we should consider is the website limiting. This may be sometimes very important because, as I mentioned to you, the quality of the information is very doubtful sometimes on internet, especially if you reach to millions of web pages. You cannot really filter them, and you cannot be sure about the quality of the results. But if you are sure about some sites are high quality, then you can limit with these sites, like here, Edu. Edu, you know, this is the web pages of the educational institutions. So we know that the information that we reached from the .edu web pages have more quality web pages, or .gov, which is related to the governmental, or CCOT.org, AOS.org, F.org, whatever. It's more trustable. So we can use this instrument when we make search. Let's say pelvis word, but we want to search this word in CCOT web page. We write site and put this sign and write ccot.org. Then it just, as you can see here, search for the CCOT web pages, or the web pages which have CCOT on its address. By this way, we reach a more narrow and more oriented research. Or if we are looking for a medical legal issue and we want to search it in the governmental web pages, we write like this. And by this way, as you can see here, just gov.gov pages coming to the results list. We also can limit the file types. This is also a very useful instrument, and it works in Google, Yahoo, and the other operators. If we are looking for a specific file type, let's say PowerPoint or Word document or PDF or whatever, we can do it with this instrument. I will show it to you. Yes, let's say how looks valgus, and we want to see the PowerPoint presentations related to the hallux valgus. Then we write, after writing hallux valgus, we write file type PPT, and you see the results are all PPT. The PowerPoint presentations are in front of us. This is a very useful instrument. Or you can change, obviously, the file type, PDFs or whatever. Now, it is possible to combine all these tools together and make a more refined search. For example, if we want to, if we write humerus fracture and put a wildcard, this means humerus fractures, humerus fracture, humerus fractured, or whatever to the end. Minus distal, it excludes distal. And we want to see the PowerPoints of this keyword and on the edu.edu web pages. So this is a more refined and multiple tool search. And at the end, you reach the PowerPoints on the edu web pages about humerus fractures, excluding distal humerus fractures. So if you look at here, it is a very limited number. If you write humerus fracture or humerus or fracture alone, you reach millions of web pages. But if you filter it with these instruments, you really focus on a certain very limited search results, which is really your target usually. And let's talk about some tools that we can use on PubMed, which is more related to PubMed, not related to the Google, not included in Google. These are some limitation words. With these words, we reach some results that I will explain to you in a few minutes. For example, TI. If we use this word, so at the end we reach to the results which includes the keyword that we enter on the results list. For example, osteonecrosis TI results with the osteonecrosis word is included in the title. If we just write osteonecrosis, then the number is huge, because it is not necessary to be osteonecrosis included in the title, even if it's in the if it is in the text. Then PubMed brings the result to here. But if we limit it with just title, then it's very limited, and the osteonecrosis word have to be in the title with this kind of search. AU means if you use this, then this means the author. If we are searching for a certain author, then we can use this. For example, Bigliani, let's say, and we write author within these parentheses. If you look at the results, then always Bigliani is there. No matter of the order, Bigliani is there. Yes, like here, if you write with hip, Bigliani and hip, then you filter results in a more narrow area. Sorry. It is possible to search the first and the last authors also. If you put one before the AU letters, like here, it is searched for the first author. Or last AU, it means the last author. If you write, do I have an example here? Let me check it. Yes. Yeah. If you write first author just before the term, you see here, it searches for just the first author. Here, just the first authors are listed. And it is last author. Also, you can limit the dates that you want to search. You can use the edate, edat, like this. For example, just by year, and after edat, or with months with edat, and afterwards the results come like just between these results. Now PubMed have launched some features which is included in advanced search. These are some of these limitations may be done with doing advanced search automatically, but not all of them are included in advanced search. So I want to mention all of them one by one to you. One very important instrument that we can use and it makes easy our life is Boolean operators. Boolean logic is a kind of search method used in many of the search engines, not only in PubMed, but also in Google, Embase, Quora, and the others. If we use these Boolean operators are and, or, and not, but these operators have to be written in capital letters. If you write like this, it doesn't work. And how does it work? I will explain to you. Let's say these are very recent search results. And I will compare them with last year's results. If you write fracture, it is this much results are coming in front of you in PubMed. This is the results of last week. I write it last week. It was like this 1 year ago. But if you write, if you put a wildcard, it widens the results because false negatives are also included when you write it like this. Fractured, fractures, and the other additional words are included in this search. But if you want to limit your search with fracture and femur, fractures a lot of fracture, but if you want to limit it with a certain anatomical area or bone, you write like this. You put a Boolean operator here. And means fracture and femur. So it searches just the texts which includes fracture and femur. It is this much. So you limited the results around 7,000 or 8,000 numbers. If you want to add another additional thing, keyword like femur and femoral, the O is not present here, so you write it separately. Which or means either femur or femoral fractures are included. We can further limit our results with, let's say, TI operator, which is fracture or the additional words should be in the title. So you limited it to 16,500 and so. If you want to make it more narrower, like we want the fracture in the title, femur and additional words in the title, and femoral in the title, so it's more narrow. And we put an and, the author's name, so it's dramatically drops to 2029. But we can add a not. Not operator works just like excluding the term just after its place. For example, here, sorry for inappropriate division, but shaft. If you put it just before the shaft, this search is operated, but the shaft word is excluded from the results. So the number drops to 21. 8 results was with shaft fracture. Also, if we limit it with a date, so we reach to the 9 hits. Now, by this way, it is really difficult to find the very appropriate results that you're looking for, and it's not very possible to find from this much result. But if you limit it, you just find what you're looking for. Mesh is another very important feature of search engines. Unfortunately, I couldn't show it to you very detailed because I was planning to show it by online internet access in the hall, but there is an internet connection problem here in this hall, so I cannot show it in a very detailed way, but my friends will show you the mesh system in their operators. It's same in logic. It is a terminology tree, hierarchy, but I cannot show the details, so I will leave it to my friends. They will talk you about mesh system. So at the end, I can say that internet is a very, I cannot show it to you live online, unfortunately. So at the end, I can say that internet is a really very expanding instrument, but if we use these operators and the tools of the internet, it is really very useful, and by this way we can save a lot of time and more effective search is possible with these tools. Now I will be more than happy to present my colleague to you, Dr. Mohammed Sukiak from United Kingdom. He will talk to you about Kohran database. Okay, here.
Can you just have
Bu yazar boyunca
okay.
şunlardan
Forward and
ilgili.
backwards. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, of course. Could you please open the previous presentation?
You put brackets in the last line, double brackets actually, and the one before just one bracket. When do we need to put brackets?
Okay, I will show it to you if they prepare the presentation.